Hello! Another day, another Outer Worlds episode. And we finally finished the DLC. I can actually play a normal game. Whatever, just anything. So now we can go to Monarch. And this is the only thing. I think, yeah. Every quest leads there. I mean, I could just start going in random places. I think I've actually been everywhere. I've been at Relay, I think. Yeah, Groundbreakers, Communication, Terror, I've been there. It's really, yeah, it's no other place.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
Hey. Why are they all the time just staring it down? Jesus. What a creepy bunch of companions. Alright, giant planet. Right next to it. The hell is it? Gas giant? What? How do I go down normally? What the fuck? Oh, there was a button here.
Hey, hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
You seem surprised.
You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off.
Takes more than a few gunship to scare me.
Wish more folk could say that. Gets awful quiet guarding a landing pad that never gets used. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-world traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records.
Me, I'm Alex Hawthorne.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill.
What do you mean entry code? I already landed. Is Stellar Bay really that isolated?
We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago.
And these guys... Which corp do they belong to? You're not what I expected to find in Monarch.
Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
I understand the board's being lying about this place.
Oh, sure. They make Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell.
But why do you have one eye?
The nostalgic stench of home. Can't say I miss the day-to-day of living in Edgewater.
Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's
guess
got lots to
from
say
one
on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though.
I'm gonna have a look around town.
Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters,
You said
maybe you could tell him I
so
did a
much
bang-up
about
job of
Mr.
welcoming you?
Sanjar already.
Oh,
Mr.
if you're headed that
Sanjar
way,
that,
maybe you could do me
Mr.
a favor.
Sanjar this. That depends, what is it?
I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I
it
haven't
was
heard
Black Hole.
anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
Who's the black hole?
That's Bertie Holcomb.
That's
Only
funny.
one of the greatest tossball hackers ever. Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something?
There's no way to mention that I met him in DLC. But why is he called the black hole?
On account of him being the best hacker who ever played? Nothing gets by him. He sucks up every ball that comes his way.
With his hole? Okay, that's all I ever need to hear on that subject.
Whatever you say, I could talk tossball for hours.
This poster sounds pretty valuable.
I couldn't really say, I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now.
Sure, I can ask about your poster.
Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
Why am I here? Been such a long time since the main story. No, the armor actually scaled with the level. So maybe the enemies also? Which sucks. The Needler. Still have a lot of weight.
Wouldn't mind smelling like Saltuna if we could sell more of it. You don't look like Sublight.
MSI guard. Isn't that
What are the chances
program?
of all the times and places we could have been born?
like a driver or something?
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
You got a lot of brass for a man doing absolutely nothing.
What I am doing, sir, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place.
What are you talking about?
This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted.
You miss the good old days?
Days of consumption and culture. When we weren't squabbling with the iconoclasts for lack of better things to do. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
I'll leave you be.
Well, well.
Maguire.
Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger.
Do you have pizza? Thanks.
Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through
Cherokee.
Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you?
Wait, what? Oh, wait. I think she's another companion. I saw her face. On one of the video thumbnails. How well do you know Nyoka?
Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka.
She's right
on account
next
of
to
her
us.
being here so
isn't
often
she?
herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks.
This is
Something
awkward.
else I can do for you?
You said you're not used to seeing new faces around here.
Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such.
The hell is Iconoclasts? Why is this place called the Yacht Club?
Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all.
I didn't even see it. Then you might think about fixing up that sad-looking sign outside.
Ah,
Oh,
don't be
nice.
so negative. It's what's on the inside that counts. Speaking of, you look like you could use a bottle with something good in it.
Let me see what you have. Not much. Everything is Rizzo. Glacial age. Iceberg aged whiskey. At glacial age, our whiskey is made of typical mash, mildly fermented, whatever. Whatever. Seven to 3. What do I do with this? Fuck it. Sell it. Hack. And it's pristine. Okay. Stealth skills, yes. Man, there's like a skill that adds to 3 skills, and the other skills are the separate skills. It's really fucking hard to keep in mind all of that. Tech skills, just 3 skills. Engineering, science, medicine. Hack +5. Those at least look different. Tech skills. You know, I would rather have something that looks different, so it's easier for me to like sell things than having like extra armor on it. Also, it shows that it has slots for modifications? What? Like, these 4 dots indicate modification slots, but when you look at it, it doesn't show any modifications. Weird. Okay, I'll keep the glasses instead. Block inspiration. Weight 0. Alright, I'll keep it, I guess. Sneak 10. Personality attributes. I guess I'll keep it to stealth skills. Hack. Okay. Still have 100 weight from somewhere. Well, I do have a bunch of these. So maybe from that. And consumables. Yeah, holy shit. Augmented toughening 6. Super Scoper. I mean, it was pretty nice, even though it doesn't add extra reach or range. It did work just fine. It's pretty bad outside though, but sniper rifles are usually for long range. KU.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding.
She looks like that
all
woman
over the
from
place,
Minecraft
trying to crawl
movie.
away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn rapt out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you?
I'm Alex Hawthorne, actually. Who are you?
Name's Nyoka. I'm the best big game hunter on the planet.
You're also the loudest big game hunter on the planet. And the drunkest.
Shut the Fair point. I deserve it, though. On account of being the best.
Nah, well, whatever. If she's gonna become our companion, we might as well. It's nice to meet you, Nyoka. I'm Morser.
Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
I'm told you can get me to an information broker.
Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You'll have to get me something to clear my head.
Sure, what do you need?
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
You mean caffeinoid? That stuff's just a stimulant.
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Alright, I'll get back. Wait, stealth skills is not the same as sneak skills. It's a different. Yeah, there's sneak and stealth. Oh. So like heavy armor also reduces your hack and lockpick. Okay, that's bad. Because before I thought it was just sneaking around.
New face, huh? You from Offworld?
Yeah, Captain Hawthorne of the Unreliable.
A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell and revel with us?
Why are you celebrating?
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking.
What could be so bad to make you walk off the job?
It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch. We're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay.
I happen to be pretty good with negotiations.
I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our
I'm
demands.
getting deadlocked every day. I'll mediate on your behalf.
You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view.
We need to talk about Velma.
Sure thing. What did you want to discuss?
How long can you afford to miss work?
Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least.
Good thing you just said where you keep all your money in. Any suggestions for how to put pressure on Velma to negotiate? Like, imagine a person just deciding to say that.
If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true.
What's this about blackmail now?
I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
So she has a weep. This weep is so small. Like, that's not how it would look. Much more miniaturized. how the sign looks exactly. Yacht Club. What's wrong about it? I don't know.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean more than usual.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so...
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the pleasure of new company. What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
I've been asked to pick up a caffeinoid supplement.
And what a helpful young man you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits.
Whiskey helps, too.
Please leave medical advice to the professionals. Now, dearie, who's this pickup for?
Actually, the pills are for me.
I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve my supply for Stellar Bay residents. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will do to get a little extra?
You can't trust people these days.
Except for you. I can tell. You've got one of those faces. I'd make an exception for you if I could, my little cherub. Is there anyone else needing a special pickup from Auntie Abigail?
I don't know, Auntie. You'll have to pry that secret from my sweet little chicks.
Don't blame me if I puke on your shoes.
Aren't you a saucy thing? I may not be a fresh young thing anymore, but with age comes experience, dearie.
Oh, this goes that way. Okay. Well, why don't we seduce her then? Why don't you show me a thing or two?
Much as I'd love to. My rheumatism is especially fierce at the moment, and I'm all out of my medicine. But I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. You were here for caffeinoid, weren't you? Who's it for?
For me! Again, the option didn't matter. It went back as if I didn't say it. It's like... Come on! You could have made it like a higher lies skill check and then resolved the quest faster if you had enough lie. But no. You just decided, oh, let's just again do this blank choice and get the conversation back to whatever like standard one it's supposed to be. It's for New York, huh?
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry.
When can New York get your next dose?
I'm afraid it'll be the better part of a month. Our dear Nyoka tends to exhaust her supply rather quickly. Believe me, there's nothing I'd love better than to help you, but there's not much I can do. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
I thought you were in charge around here, auntie. You sure ought to be.
Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his.
Forgetful fellow, eh?
Careless experimentation with medicinal substances does take its toll, eventually.
But until then, it's lots of fun.
Episodic pharmacological delirium is no laughing matter, young lady.
Where can I find this Dr. Williams?
In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations.
The flower of enlightenment?
It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you mind. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
I guess I'll have to figure out this on my own.
Chin up, dearie.
It's just to get the key?
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so... What do you think you're doing?
Oops. I was just leaving.
Just don't make any trouble for me.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brack's missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by any time you like.
Thanks, I'll,
This terminal's use is restricted to authorized medical engineers. Unauthorized use it will warrant action from your site safety engineer. Login as Williams. Pre-select from the following menu options. Nyoka. Caffeinoid alignment standards. Medical engineer notes. Liver damage, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Attitude problems, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Frequent social withdrawal, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Increase alignment to high. Warning, excessive caffeinoid consumption may lead to side effects such as irritability, fatigue, uncontrollable bowel movements, nausea, death. Warning, caffeinoid storage is approaching critical levels. Resupply recommended. Williams E. Notes from experiments as conducted by Dr. Williams E. I had hypothesized that this combination might awaken my mind and senses to the greater realities around us. If that is true, then it seems my faculties were quite overwhelmed in this instance. Shortly after the dosage, I experienced cold sweats, tremors, and mild paranoia. It is perhaps due to these latter effects that most of my notes from the episode are of little use. Nevertheless, the effects were most invigorating. I will have to attempt a milder dosage once heart palpitations subside. Salt tuna to tip, it's like music for the soul. Like whenever I press on this title, it's not displayed anywhere, so I never read it, and then I wonder what the fuck am I reading. I need to read it beforehand. Bush berry extract plus Deberol, and before that was reacticism plus Pepu up. Debilerol is a type of thing in Needler that slows people down, I think. After my previous experiments, I theorized that deadening, what the fuck is this word? causing a loss of force, vitality, or enthusiasm. Stultifying.
Deadening.
Deadening. I theorize that deadening the external senses might allow the mind's eye to glimpse the eternal. Alas, I was only partially successful. The combination of substances quickly rendered me both blind and feeble, so much so that I soon fell into a stupor. I awoke some hours later in a pile of my own sick and most curious cravings for teleritas. Tolerance minus triple dosage or triple dosage. Again, a part of the needler. Coast tolerance acid while empty. I guess he died from that. Personal finance Edwards. Stellar Bride. She's a wide-eyed colonist from Earth. He's a hand-working Saltuna farmer from Monarch. Their attraction blossoms into a whirlwind romance that transforms Stellar Bay. Chapter 3, A Long Way from Arkansas. You can put your things here, Mr. Elliot said, leading Abby into a dim apartment. The place was small, but it had a certain cozy charm. Abby set her bags on the floor and loosened the straps of her jumpsuit. Ooh. Mr. Elliot coughed, his face suddenly red. If you get warm, you can always crack the window. Breeze from the bay is real nice, just be careful about mantis worms. As Abby went to take the room key, her fingers brushed his. He had strong, rough hands, as Saltuna farmer's hands. She felt herself blush. You've been ever so kind to me, Mr. Elliot. Call me Archibald, he said. Why are we reading this backwards? The Passion Broker, a renegade iconoclast. I guess it's not. It's a different thing. Driven by his ideals, finds love in the arms of mysterious man with a tortured past. So wait, this granny writes those, right? Will he follow his head or his heart? Chapter 2, Tall, Dark, and Handsome. Come on up, said the voice on the comm. It was dangerous and smooth in a way that reminded Broderick of iceberg-aged whiskey. The door slid open with a whisper of perfumed air. The hair rose along the nape of his neck, and he proceeded up the stairs. The broker sat with his black to a top-of-the-line, mostly charcoal, personal heater, slender fingers tented. So this was the mysterious recluse who manipulated Monarch from afar. Broderick could feel the warmth of the heater from across the room, but it was the look in the broker's eyes that had him feeling feverish. The broker produced a pair of glasses and a bottle of something that looked expensive. He poured it off and held one of the glasses out to Broderick. For me? He asked, trying to ignore the man's smoldering gaze. Indeed, the broker purred. I hear you're a man of both tastes. The Broderick took his glass. The broker continued, dark hair falling over his darker eyes. That's why I've got a rare proposition for you. The glass nearly slipped from Broderick's fingers. He drank it in one gulp to hide the tremor in his hand. It burned all the way down. What was it about? Like fucking hell. It's like nothing. Clinic of the Heart, a battle-hardened young Earth Directorate soldier visits a remote clinic on Monarch to heal his injuries. But when he meets Gale, an elegant old nurse, she goes to work on his heart as well. Chapter 34, Healing Touch. Fetcher held her tightly. His strength had returned, that much was clear. Yet here he remained at the clinic with her. He shook his head as if he'd read her mind with his perfect green eyes. Gale, the Earth Director is calling me back. They want me protecting Byzantium. Byzantium? Byzantium. But I don't know how to leave, not after what we've found together. Then stay, she whispered, letting her breath warm his ear. I can certainly find a position for you here. Oh, laws, he moaned, pulling her closer. She pressed a finger to his lips. The only law here is love. I can't set up required a persistent connection to the central communication tower. Connection offline. So now I can ask for caffeinoid? Or what? Do I need to steal it somewhere?
Hello again.
Who is Velma?
She works over at the fishery next door. Quite the hard worker, but she's got a bit of a temper.
A temper?
Why, just the other day, I heard her shouting from here. I can't imagine what set her off. Oh, but here I go again, running my mouth when it's none of my business. Was there something else you needed? What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
I'm picking up caffeinoid for Neok, Ramnarim Wentworth III. Where's this coming from?
Now that can't be. Ms. Ramnareem Wentworth has already exceeded the month's... Oh. Dear me. She does have another dose in her allotment. How did I miss this?
Don't worry about it, Auntie. I'm sure I've been busy.
My, but you are a doll. Here's Neoka's caffeinoid, and if I know her, she's probably ready for it by now. Do take care of yourself, dearie.
Still, I can search for dog's body. What if there's like a sense machine?
I bought some musk from Sebastian.
Also need to get rid of amplifier. I forgot about that. We will put the rifle in here. The second slot is usually for a pistol. But yeah, I guess I haven't tried this new science weapon. We could... There's nothing else to tap. Well, Needler, I guess.
Wrapped musk and canid eyes, right here.
Sir, please, I need your help. Oh, thank
You
you
need
for
hands.
stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed.
This little shit.
Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
It's more dissolving than melting.
That is not helpful.
Calm down, take a deep breath, and then tell me what happened.
Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen. Please, won't you go and find my boy?
Why would Tucker run away?
He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep him safe here with me.
Where would he have gone?
He's been listening to those awful broadcasts that the iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boy's run off to Amber Heights. That is, if a manta queen hasn't spooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already.
Where's Amber Heights?
That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with the nutty iconoclasts, or that he never made it. Sprats could be nesting in his rotting body alongside the road as we speak. Or maybe marauders got him, pulled all his teeth out, crushed him into their drugs, and made him snort them. Oh, the things that could happen to my sweet baby.
Quite the imagination. Did you say there was a reward involved with this request?
Well, I guess I can't ask you to leave the town walls for free. It is deathly dangerous out there. I've got some bits saved up for a rainy day. I'll give you every last one if you just bring my Tucker back to me. I won't even be mad at him running off. You tell him I won't be mad.
What were you saying about the iconoclasts?
Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting. Like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who listened. If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head.
I'll help to find your son.
Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
We'll see about that. Alright, well, let's quickly check the grave, I guess. Why the pistol is still not repaired? I thought I did. Oh, it needs 22. But you can't repair it partially?
The trick is not to breathe through your nose.
Like, every time, even by changing volume, I just can't hear them back. Like, I don't know what they're doing with the sound, but like, it's so much lower when they're behind you.
Can't get past that armor!
We are just that good.
So bright here.
Nice one. Get it up! Get it up!
Don't overreact, jeez. It's just a little acid. No, it's your church. Broaden your horizons with a little light reading. This might look nice in one of the crew's rooms and they are unreliable. Okay. Leadership skills and persuade +7. Well, I already have enough persuade. I don't know if leadership skills is all that good. Is there going to be a leadership check at any point? I kind of want to try doing it on my own. What the fuck? Jeez, that's a lot of damage. What the fuck? Crit chance 20%. But it critted every time. It was insane amount of damage. This range is strongly magnetic. Just stick it near the bolt and the range seats itself. What?
Coming your way.
What the? Guess they're teleported.
Anything good behind?
I believe this place has seen better days.
No problem.
Be right there.
Alright, this seems to be a bit more spacious.
Ah, the charmer. Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business? All of the above?
I've got your magic pills. These things are dangerous, you know.
Says someone who's never had any fun.
Exactly. See? I'm glad someone on your crew's got some sensible... got her head on straight. Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go.
That was fast. I gotta see about stocking some on the ship.
You be careful. The first one's free. After that, they'll offer you gainful employment.
Glad to have you.
Great. Where to?
Let's find the information broker.
Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
I'll wait on the ship.
Long as you've got my back, I'll have yours. Welcome to the Unreliable Crew.
You look like a preacher. You a traveling vicar?
In a manner of speaking.
Stellar Bay had a vicar once. He took it upon himself to convince Graham's folk to come back to the corporate fold. Kept making the trip between the city and Amber Heights by foot. Kept getting himself into all sorts of scrapes. Day came when I found a book of his in the middle of a raft encampment. Hand still gripping it, too.
The plan unfolds as the plan unfolds. To vicar and layman alike.
Okay. What's her deal? Oh, she gets an upgraded weapon soon. 37th level, that's a lot. Oh wait, I'm 37th already. I am still thinking behind. Reduce how far the sound of your footsteps. Sure, I guess. Deals bonus damage to the creatures. Okay. While Nyoka is in the party, you gain increased experience from discovering new locations. Ooh. XP? Damn. But it's not too much. I mean, double. Still, it's more XP. Or sneak attack. Alright, pretty cool skills actually.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? If you don't see it, I don't got it.
No
Don't go
prolonged
asking for the
conversations
special reserve.
about every possible thing we can talk about. Long guns, block. Melee. Ranged weapon skills. vermin. It almost has the same damage as 99th level gun. Medical? Do I have medical? I should just have caps. Yeah, this is getting pretty fucking hard to remember which ones are needed. There we go, plasma. And Tinker, we can increase the level of every science weapon. Wait, this is not science weapon. This is getting too costly. Something else. Maybe I want to resolve the strike first.
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for rap musk. Bet they also pay to
Eschatological incision implement. The fish saw could use a good cleaning. Pescatological. Yeah, I guess it's a fish. Logical applied.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
Catherine said she'd shove you in the box if you keep running your yap like that.
Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately.
Again,
First, my autoloader
check.
foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Here it would be actually a nice blank choice check, because like if you were of scientific education you would know what pescatological would mean. You're chief of what?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess.
Don't you have rules about that sort of thing?
We're not keen on rules for rules' sake around here. Means Braxton skips work sometimes, but it also means no company boss is telling me when I can take a shit. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind?
You said Braxton had been stealing drugs?
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts.
Why didn't you turn him in?
We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this all tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free.
Who's this Catherine you mentioned when I first came in here?
Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer.
Let's talk about Caleb.
Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say.
They're hard workers, aren't they? Don't they deserve some compensation for that?
Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work. Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much.
Why can't you give him his pay increase? Is it just Caleb that... Why were you talking in singular meaning? Like, weren't there more workers that went on strike? Why can't you give him his pay increase?
I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone.
She's principled, in at least this area. I will begrudgingly give her that.
Thank you. I think. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
142 persuade. Whoa. Or 35 lie. I know you're taking a percentage of the top. What would people say if I told them? If you hire sublight, you'll just give them more control over your business.
You know, I hadn't thought of it that way. Last thing I need is Catherine mailing even farther up my ass than she already is. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately.
That was easy. Alright. Choice in a while that actually resolved the thing. And made it to go faster. Not really amazing, but it's something. $142 persuade, Jesus fucking Christ. Also, what's her special ability? Barrage. Minus 30% armor rating for 15 seconds. Deals damage over time. Ugh.
Why don't you grab a chair? Sit a spell.
I convinced Velma to see your reason. She'll increase your pay.
How'd you manage that? Wait, never mind. If I question it, it'll turn out not to be true. Besides, I never follow how you got Velma to part ways with a bit card of her own accord. As agreed, here's your compensation. Ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse.
Nice. Monarch Stellar Industries.
I wonder sometimes what
MSI.
they're doing on other colonies.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Grimm is waiting for the Tossball poster signed by the Great Birdie.
Think they're watching the same serials, following the same...
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others,
There's a
sir.
mayor.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Grimm asked me to check with you about his Tossball poster.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse.
Damn it.
But I'll warn you, Grimm wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Earlier, I overheard you say you were having money trouble.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon ports?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Just ask him for a date.
I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Wait, I'm curious. What do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
You really want to be with someone who can't talk to? You can't talk to?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
There are other fish in the sea, Celia.
Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up.
That's all I need to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
What?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
That's very generous of you.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
Me, I'm charting my own path, going where the wind takes me.
What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Alcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
This is too funny to pass on. If I have to eat one more weird science project passed off as a food in this sprout fuck colony, I'm going to stab someone.
Yes, that's it. Channel your anger. I only wish I could do the same. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with
It's a bit
enticing
weird that
figures would draw
our
the other
character
corporations
who's
back
not
to our bosom, but it seems
supposed to be
we're back to the
introduced
drawing board.
to the culture of this world would have be saying something like spratfuck, unless back home they also have the same culture. Because I thought back on Earth it's kind of similar to what we have right now. I guess not then. What exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
Something to be said for perseverance. I endeavor to persevere myself.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Sounds like you're freer than anyone in Halcyon. Why not embrace it?
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
I don't know what intellectualism means, but if someone's willing to build us a few practical things around here, I ain't gonna judge them on account of their beliefs.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Alright. I think the lines from the companions are a bit more fitting and a bit more developed than in DLC. In DLC it was just like so cut off from everything. It's just one line and the other character who you're talking to does not really react to it at all. It seemed very bizarre, but in base game it seems to be at least like a bit more smooth. Like I could have not had the vicar with me and this guy wouldn't said this line, but now it's more fluid. It's like we actually had a conversation here with the companion as well. Actually, it's never been like cutting from one character to another during conversation. It's like, oh, I want to talk to you right now. One of companion says, or something like that. Well, I guess it was at the very beginning, yeah. But never really happened after. Except for Parvati. I can't think of anything. So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
A lot of good that'll do. They'll just find another reason to turn tail and abandon you.
Not if we secure the proper safeguards first.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
How long did it take you to figure out that you need to defend your city?
Not long, but the devil is always in the details. And the salient detail here is a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
This Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Ordnance or ordnance?
An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here, not like Graham's iconoclasts.
Hey now, they may not shower as much as you do, but they've got their own sort of civil.
The fuck is that? Ordnance? It's cannon. Artillery cannon. An ordinance is authoritative order, a religious rite.
Ordnance.
Branch of the army that obtains and gives out military supplies? Or artillery sense? What? Okay. Can a legal document really be that important?
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Why are you saying it that way?
Saying what? Which way?
Arms. You're saying arms instead of arms.
That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what.
I'm sure I'll know it when I find it. I guess it's kind of a joke, a wall breaking, fourth wall breaking joke. You can't really say something in caps. I'm sure I'll know it when I find it.
Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Before I go, I need to ask you about something.
What can I do for you?
Now I'm looking for an information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate.
How do I get to Devil's Peak?
You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But I see you've met Nyoka. Anyone can get you there safely. It's her.
He just wants me out of his bar.
I met Grim at the landing pad, Gord.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
He did a bang-up job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his
Wasn't
review.
a moron.
What else can I do for you?
This is an overreaction. I have questions about MSI and the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
Do you mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2, but back then it was known as Terra 1.
Terra 1 and Terra 2? I see the board put their best people on that one.
Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
How forward-thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
I take it your leadership didn't embrace your ideas.
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else.
Yet here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Why exactly do you want back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part
No,
of the
fuck them.
colonial community. And being cut off means slow strangulation.
We'll disassemble them. I treat you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
What's the hazard clause?
It's straight bullshit is what it is. A fabrication rich folks use to preserve their investments by leaving a lot of people here to die slow.
Nyoka has the right of it. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
A necessary evil for the greater good of society.
That's exactly how the board describes it.
And they're invoked on the monarch.
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
I will admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything, and everyone around him.
You've got strong feelings on the matter.
I'm trying to build something here. They only want to destroy things, and they risk ruining Monarch for all of us. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony. He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
I like this corporation much more than Spacer's Choice. I think this is a good balance between being a corpo and having respect for your workforce. I gotta go. We'll see. It's going to be probably again a choice between joining rebels or like helping rebels or helping these guys.
Does Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
Great.
No,
So he wants me to go. Well, it doesn't actually show. Gotta go outside first.
more than usual.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
Pretty drab town. Like, there's nothing unique about it. It's very similar to what we already saw. Pretty small scale. This world doesn't have a scale. It always feels
You ever
very
think about
small.
what goes on in a marauder's head?
It feels like we're just
No,
in some village. It's not a
But
city.
they still manage to feed themselves, dress themselves.
That's partially why I don't like this game that much. Oh wait, we need to talk to some silent type man. Oh wait, the posters. We still have some business here.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Who spat in your spirits, Velma?
You noticed my mood? I'm surprised you can see straight today.
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Will you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition? Anyway, what do you folks need?
I'm here to ask about Grimm's poster.
This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it?
Who's Nell?
She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too.
So it's all about the money.
Damn right it is.
You're just giving Grimm's poster away, didn't he pay for it?
No. I paid Sublight for it. So, it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may
Why
have
not
asked for the poster,
buy
but it's not his until I
more?
take his money.
Surely we can work something out.
Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
Wait, who's Braxton again? Work with me. I'm helping you find Braxton, aren't I?
Sure. And once you finish helping me, then we can talk about the poster.
Talk
Fine by
about
me.
something else. Who the hell is Braxton again? Oh yeah, some junkie.
Help! Someone's been killed! I think I'm gonna be sick.
Pull yourself together and tell me what happened.
I clean the apartments while everyone's at work. I've seen all sorts of messes, but this... If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
What a gruesome way to die.
Even Stellar Bay ain't safe these days. What's the world coming to?
Pull out the discrepancy amplifier. Let's get to work. Doesn't work. Hastily packed suitcase. Several ragged outfits, all of the same cut and color, were scuffed into this suitcase. Possible betting slip. This betting slip lists some increasingly bold wagers made for a team called Mostly Colonists. It's from Left Field Tossball Betting. Well, it's not related to our quests.
Whatever you do, don't mention Tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
If you got into mostly colonists, you'd be thankful.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
I'm looking for Braxton. Have you seen him?
Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry.
Relax, no one's in trouble. I'm looking to have a friendly chat with him.
Oh, in that case, he told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
That's all I need.
I'll be straight with you. Folk who disappear in the wilderness generally aren't able to come back. Don't get your hopes up.
The house.
Easy does it.
Scythe. Level 14. Yeah, it definitely works this way. It's like there's a set level that they think the person will be, and any item that lies around will be of that level. But everything that's inside containers will be scaled. I don't understand why they couldn't have scaled the other weapons. It's not like it's not possible to upgrade them to that level. Like, look at this. Wait, this one, this is 12th level. But the first one was 30... No, that's 16th. What? Okay, maybe I don't know anything. But there were things in the containers that were... Or was it shops? Alright, it's again in the wilderness. Now we got the murder. I'm just switching between quests back and forth.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths.
I play for Auntie Cleo's Darlings, don't you recognize me?
I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch?
It is a part of a goodwill tour of Halcyon. We are meeting our fans across the colony.
Ha! Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I do for you?
I found this betting slip in a dead man's apartment. Any idea what might have happened to him?
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
What do his teeth have to do with anything?
They were pretty distinct. Monarch doesn't exactly have a thriving dental industry, and Isaac seemed to get stuck in all sorts of bad habits, dietary and otherwise. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team, started owing the wrong people money.
So, who did he owe?
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
Thanks for the tip.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
I actually don't like the Needler. But, like, what else can I use? I guess Gatling. Like, this is the same pistol, but with less damage than this. I might as well, like, swap it to electricity and have a better one, really. Like, I should just sell it. Meh. I don't know. I could switch to it whenever I fight mechanicals, but even double damage might be worse than just straight up this one.
Smells like wrapped in here.
Oh, it does work.
I haven't leveled up in a while after leaving.
No one? Really?
What's he talking about? Since we left the DLC.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
I'm making it my business.
Oh yeah? What are you saying exactly?
You've bullied people long enough. If you would know what's good for you, you'll clear out and never come back. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, why can't I just put them in jail instead? Civilian arrest. Yeah. You've bullied people.
Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
What is this for?
Well, I see you've had a sobering effect on our friend Nyoka.
Sir, please stop.
Forgive me, Celia. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
It was Elijah and his hooligan friends. I ran them out of town.
I'm glad to hear you've dealt with them.
They've been causing quite a bit of trouble around town. I've been consumed with other matters of late, but I would have dealt with them eventually.
If you say so.
It really was on my to-do list. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
Yeah. Reginald Cheney. Alright, let's help our friend, I guess. Also, what's Nyoka's deal? She's about Lie Sneak Medical. I don't need any of those except for medical, maybe.
I need to talk to you, Captain. Hey, got a favor to ask you. Figure while we're out here in the wilderness anyhow, we might stop in on an old friend of mine. Preferably before we get to Hiram's. It's on the way, don't worry. You don't seem the type to run off and get yourself killed, and I could use the help.
Well, I definitely don't plan on getting myself killed.
Well, we'll see about that. I'll be upfront with you. I hate asking for help. I hate it. Every time I give someone the opportunity to disappoint me, they seem to make it their most immediate goal. But this, what I'm thinking, it's dangerous.
What kind of danger are we talking about here?
Nothing we can't handle.
Alright, let's hear it.
I used to run with a band of hunters. Friends. 6 of us. We were on Monarch when the corporations pulled out, and we helped a lot of people pick up the pieces. I haven't seen 2 of them in years, and the rest I know to be dead. I'd like to gather their effects and bury them all in the same places, like the family we once were.
How do you know they're dead?
I saw it happen. Hell, one of them was in my arms at the time. His name was Hayes, and he's our first stop. I buried him a ways from our encampment. I'll show you where he rests. He had a medallion in his effects. That's what I'll bring home to bury.
What? You want to unbury him to take his medallion and then bury it in some other place? Jesus fucking Christ, what is this for? To risk your necks for it also. Where's home?
A long time ago, we built an encampment in one of Monarch's cave systems.
What?
Trouble is, a Mantiqueen showed up and kicked us all out. If we can find Rebecca and Anders, they'll know how to lure her out. Then, we kill the bitch and bury everyone's medallions together.
What a... I wouldn't agree to this if it wasn't just more content for me to play through, I guess. We're going to have to kill a Mantiqueen?
Oh, yes. I can't wait. Good old Stellar Bay. Only place on the planet that don't stink of sulfur. On account of it stinking like
Wait.
fish instead.
Is it? It's not impossible to get to the other side? The map is actually split in 2? I guess so. Like they couldn't figure out the open world mechanics? Oh. Or maybe not, actually. I spoke too soon. There's a bridge. Uh-oh. fuck? With a baby spread. Oh lord. That's so far. Cascadia, Fallbrook, Amber Heights, Stellar Bay. So there's 4 major hubs. That's more interesting. I want to try out this. This weapon.
I smell blood! Incoming!
What the fuck? It died so fast. Tech skills. We already have tech skills. Yeah. I think they actually don't scale the enemies with level. Might be better if they did, actually. It's not the kind of game that... Yeah, they die so fast.
Watch your feet. He'll take a toe off.
I think this is the right way. Let's focus on this half of ours.
Heard something.
I really like the showcase of Indiana Jones reload of revolver. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to try more realistic games like Kingdom Come Deliverance. So it's more refreshing than this. Jeez, the zoom.
Incoming!
Like, my companions just wiped them from existence. I guess when we were on DLC, difficulty wasn't scaled, so we died super fast. But we also had a lot of damage. Like we were pretty tough ourselves, even though like we're not supposed to have been there at that time. At the very beginning we were like 15 levels behind.
South here, off the road and down this slope. We've got a decent trek ahead of us.
Here? Off the road, you said?
These pools don't just stink. They'll take a toe off.
If I follow incoming, take signs off today.
I still don't understand what this range does. Like, what's special about it? Aren't all science weapons have some kind of trick to them?
Huh?
You hiding?
There's a big chunk of XP.
Bridge there if you need a drink. We're only halfway to the mountain, so might consider stopping.
Trouble checking in? Or you might need directions to the amenities? If you're locked out of your cabin, a replacement key costs 50 bits.
Where am I? What is this place?
Guess it's true. Fallbrook really is the best-kept secret in all of Monarch, excepting the Borst Factory's secret ingredient. We're a leisurely stopover for the more adventurous spacefaring traveler. Understand?
No.
Man, oh man, it has been a blue moon since I had to break out the hook'em spiel. Allow me to paint a picture in your mind. A parcel of pure paradise nestled beneath a waterfall within a mountain. We've got activities of leisure. We got proclivities for vice. We got booze and bets and non-communal beds. Sublight owned and run, so you know you're safe while you're breaking the laws. Check in at the saloon to start spending your bits now. I am here to anticipate and facilitate your needs, patron.
What is this about Leela and Catherine? What? Leela sent me. Where's Catherine?
You're looking for Ms. Malin. On an errand for the boss lady? That sounds ominous. Yeah. Ms. Malin won't like that a whit.
Catherine was with the mayor of the town in Stellar Bay, I think. What did she ask for? Breathe. It's okay. Just point me toward Miss Mail.
She's not but just down the way. A 10 to 1 says she's either pouring drinks or skinning a sprat in the saloon. Word to the wise. Ms. Malin don't take kindly to interlopers. When I said sprat, I didn't mean the sort with whiskers and a tail.
Tell me about the amenities.
No reservation, no problem. Day trippers are always welcome in our saloon. Straight back and to the right. If you hit the falls, you've gone too far. Check in with Miss Malin. She'll set you straight.
Will do, partner.
Fallbrook's great. Anything you want, they've got it. So long as you've got the bits.
Take a gander at that mug. I ain't ever seen someone so adept looking my whole life.
Watch yourself, Captain. This guy's got eyes like a sprat set on stealing your dinner.
Oh, now, come on. All I mean is, well, rather that, you don't seem like the usual pigeons.
It reminds me
before.
of that guy from
No offense,
Fallout
of
TV
course,
show
if you are a
who
Byzantine
tried to
goblin.
cure
Say, I'd like to do you a favor.
a guy by making
Might
him
I
well.
interest you in a
It's
surefire
a bit of a
scheme?
spoiler, I guess.
Wink, wink.
Not gonna tell, but who watched it probably got what I was pointing at. Did you just say wink at me instead of actually winking?
Don't believe I did. No? Wink. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats.
Like that's it's a lie. Even though it could have been just an opinion of our character. That is a stroke. That is a stroke of sheer brilliance.
See? I know a fellow genius when I clap eyes on him. Too right you are. Only problem is my sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around these parts. What say you locate him and retrieve the goods for me? In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit.
Sick. Same way with my Twitch stream. Or maybe it's fine. Well, it's fine. Make it 35 plus a sample of the goods, and you've got a deal. Wink. Interesting. Why is the persuade so high? Like, I wouldn't have this much persuade at this point at all. Like, it would be very hard to upgrade it. At level what, like 15? Yeah. It's almost as if the check is not fixed, as if it also scales. So it's like not round. What would make somebody to pick a check 134 instead of just 130 or 140? Why 34? Make it 35 plus a sample of the goods, and you got a deal.
35%? Are you out of your gourd? If I wasn't recovering from a bout of Margellans, I wouldn't stand for this. But things are what they are, so I'll agree to it. But not 0.5% more. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth through the shipping tunnels. Any trail ought to start there. When you've got the goods, I'll be here.
Alright, focus. Focus on the quest.
Want to make a run with this bill today? Boss lady told me to take the night off.
This is Reginald's stuff, all right, but it looks like he's not home. Let's search the room. Try to figure out where he's gone.
Reginald Chase Gold Panning Log. Day 152, location blah blah blah, conditions fair. Report. I can't believe I am still stuck in this law-forsaken town, but at least I think I may have finally found a spot with the promise down the tunnel on the river bank outside of town. Produced 1 nugget and 2 teeth. I wonder if I can find a dentist who'd pay something for the teeth. Chain.
Sounds like Cheney's gone gold panning down on the river.
Yep.
I guess even scholars need to find ways to make ends meet in exile.
Ingredient is.
Still in this location?
Always imagine fall bring. If you're feeling like the civilized type, the waterfall's a good spot to wash your clothes.
So dark.
What do you want? Oh, hey, Vicar Max. What are you doing on Monarch? I thought scienticians ain't welcome here.
Scienticians?
Haven't you heard? Everyone's welcome here. It's a fucking worker's paradise. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Never worked a day in your miserable life. You're just a parasite, living off my goodwill. Well, guess what? My goodwill's exhausted, along with my temper.
This guy doesn't look like much of a scholar, Max. Care to explain?
This is the guy who told me about the book while we were in prison. I lied about finding a scholar. But I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to inflict massive amounts of pain on this guy.
Things you lie about. Why did you lie to me?
I couldn't risk you not bringing me here.
It sounds like you have things to work out between you. I'll just be on my way.
It's already beaten up and bleeding. Let's play along. Max, you should have told me about this.
Would you have brought me all this way just to watch me beat the life out of a greasy ex-convict if I had?
Yep.
Fantastic. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. I was about to beat you. Severely.
Wait! I know who can translate the book for you.
It's too late for that. I threw away my life chasing fairy tales. Will punishing you fix any of that? Of course not. But by law, it will make me feel a whole lot better.
Max, stop. It's not too late. Maybe the answer you've been looking for is in that book. I don't believe it, but there's only 2 options.
Okay. Talk, Reggie.
It was stolen from some sort of expert on philosophism. Weird hermit lady on Scylla. My father used to deliver supplies to the mining outpost there.
On Scylla, fucking lifeless moon. There's no atmosphere there even. It's such a fucking dreary place. Weird hermits sound kind of flimsy to me.
It's true. My father collected some extra bits on the side by diverting some of the supplies to the gal. The way he told it, he thought the book looked valuable, so he took it. Couldn't find any buyers when it turned out to not only be French, but banned as well.
What do you say, Beaker?
Fine. We've got more important things to do anyway.
Or we just go straight there. Can I fast travel to my ship? Man, okay. There's so many quests. I'm just running into quests on every millimeter of the way. Like I'm scared of going anywhere.
Destination reached. Scylla.
What is she holding? That's some kind of ocean creature.
I want to thank you for talking some sense into me back there with Cheney. It has been a long time since I gave in to my violent enthusiasm.
Cat crap, Max, you lied to me about Cheney, and I want to know why.
You're right. I owe you an apology. I've been so obsessed for so long, I couldn't see anything else. You offered me a place on your crew, friendship, and I used you to get to Cheney. And even then, you saved me from myself. I don't know if I could live with myself had I gone through with it. You owe me nothing, I know, but I'm begging your forgiveness.
Wow. Okay. I understand. We all get a little obsessed sometimes. You are forgiven.
Thank you. I promise I'll be nothing but truthful from this point forward.
That's... What was it like being in prison?
Oh, exactly as you'd imagine. Can't say I enjoyed the stint. It did provide me with plenty of time to think. The way I see it, the universe was snapping me back to where I needed to be. You stray too far from the course of your destiny, the world will try to correct for it.
Okay. Destiny? You just broke some laws and got into prison. Still a lot of work to do. And this guy, I don't know if we can even fix him. Like I've seen the interview with the developers on no clip for Outer World. I've been talking about like Skila. This was like the fastest world to make. I can't call this a world really. Like this is just some small location out of nowhere. There's nothing to look at. What are we even talking about, world? Like disjointed quests and end up here. It's pretty bad.
Ready for more?
No one saw me trip over.
I remember I saw this being locked out.
What have the solar winds deposited on my doorstep now? Just more dirt and debris? Or do you actually believe you are here seeking the truth? I must admit, I tire of the truth seekers. Mayhaps you're here to rob me? That would be so much more exciting.
Ah yeah, we're here to rob you. What do you got?
Not much. but you are free to take whatever you wish. Please leave me a few morsels of food, though. I may not eat a lot, but I still do need to eat.
We are not here to rob you. I've brought this book for you to translate for me. We've been told this was once yours. I believe the knowledge within here contains the answers I seek. Answers that will free men's minds from toil.
I can translate it, but it won't do you any good. I can see you are a man in a hurry, and the insights in that book would take you years of study to fully comprehend.
I've spent my life in contemplation. I believe my mind is prepared to receive the truth.
We've come a long way to help Max get some peace. Is there anything you can do to help?
There is one way that can speed up the process. It involves a combination of several ingredients, some of which can be fatal.
Drugs?
It is not for the faint of heart or the unprepared.
Just want to make him trip? That's how you receive the truth? What? When you say ingredients, you mean drugs, right?
A crass way to put it, but yes. Chemicals that can expand or destroy the participant's consciousness.
Well, Max said he was prepared, didn't he?
And I believe he may be right. There is both violence and peace warring inside you, Max. This process would be extremely tenuous for one such as yourself.
I'm committed, no matter the cost.
I'll supervise, for safety purposes.
I'm committed to taking as many drugs as possible, so count me in as well.
All right. Head on into the meditation room and partake of the sacramental incense. It's waiting on the table when you're ready to begin.
Yeah, let's go.
Poor Maximilian. Maximilian, why are you still doing this? You've been fighting
We
against
are
the world
seeing
since before you left home.
hallucinations of other
Haven't
people.
you figured out yet that the more you fight, the more pain you cause yourself?
Mother, you're dead. You can't be here.
That was
knew this
Sheep
was
who
too
set
good
a
to be
show.
true. These are just cheap hallucinogens that have... What's happening to my voice? Does my voice sound weird to you? And what's wrong with your face?
Let's stay focused here, Max. Your voice always sounds weird.
Attack. I mean, that would be a test. But I don't know. What if it breaks conversation at all? Like, I don't know. If she's a hallucination, why am I seeing her too?
We are obviously the victims of a tasteless joke being perpetuated. Perpetrated? I mean, we're being made fools of, aren't we? When I get out of here, I'm going to show that hermit what you get for messing with me.
Maximilian, always ready to give up, to lash out, always searching for answers, but always in the wrong place, never looking inside himself.
We came here so you could learn how to not be an ass, Max. So, stop being an ass.
Okay, Vision Mom, how about giving us answers instead of hollow platitudes?
And platitudes from a figment of my imagination, no less.
Who said I wasn't a figment of your mind? But you know the truth. You don't need someone else to tell you. You've always known it. Everyone knows it. They just won't see it. We're overwhelmed with stories from our earliest days. The stories others tell us, and the stories we tell ourselves. These stories are how we try to make sense of our lives, but they are not real, are they? They're just stories. You need to drop your story and see the truth.
Seeing the truth is easier said than done.
You want me to give up my discipline? My control? Oh, but I can't. I can't. Without order, there is chaos.
You need to love the chaos, Maximilian. Let it envelop you. Take you where it will. Besides, you really have no choice anyway.
No, that's not true. The basis of everything is order, not chaos. It's true, I know it is. So did you. Why are you denying it? Before you died, the plan made you happy.
No, it didn't. I made myself happy. There's nothing holding you back but you. If you can't understand that, you will never understand anything. Goodbye, Maximilian.
This whole thing, it's just a farce, right? Just my own brain working against me? You couldn't be more right.
That.
Hello, Max. What? Who? Why do you look like me? Are you me? Not really. I'm who you think you are. I am disciplined, controlled. I have no doubts. And I don't exist. Yet you have judged yourself against me your whole life. Why? Why do you berate yourself for not being me?
Max, I figured it out. You need to kill this guy now.
What are you talking about?
He's yourself. You need to get rid of him. Get it? It's almost like a bad joke.
I can do that.
Kill yourself.
I see you're back with us. Feared we lost you there. Never seen anyone pass out yet stay upright before.
So it was my hallucination? What? Thankfully, all that talking and arguing ruined my high.
Ruined? You seem to be having quite the time. Though I must admit I was a bit concerned when you stripped naked and tried to eat your clothes.
I meant to do that.
I was joking. You passed out fairly early in the process. Well before I realized what an ignorant fool I've been. Everything is perfect.
No. Get that, kids? You want to know the truth of the universe? Just do mushrooms. Really? Have you looked around the colony lately?
No. Not perfect in that sense.
but it is still perfect. It's all there to be experienced, to be lived. Of course there is pain and loss, but the suffering is caused by trying to control reality, clinging to the way you want things to be, not enjoying the way they are.
If you say so.
I am content. I've finally found what I was looking for, even though I was looking for the wrong thing.
Well, I'm happy for you. So this is his whole quest. Gained the tuned in perks because. Ooh. Oh. Money. Incense vessel. The hell? I guess like a trophy for the ship. So I was hallucinating the whole thing. I guess makes more sense than both of us being able to see it once hallucination.
So, have you found your answers?
What about French book?
Not so much found
We're just
as
dropping it.
finally listened.
Yes, it is quite the convoluted maze we build for ourselves.
Existence is simpler with your eyes closed. Takes courage to open them.
It looks like you learned something in there as well.
Nope, I already knew that. I was just enjoying myself.
Of course you were.
We should go. Still stealing. Alright, you've been officially robbed. I don't know, Parvati quest was a bit more interesting. A bit more quirky. Like, it could have been something pretty cool, like philosophy and realizations, and, you know, something clever, but it just came down to doing drugs. They actually could have written, like, a good philosopher who would have, like, asked him questions or debated the player and the state of things.
What was that? What was that?
You're deaf.
You got him!
Your life was merely an illusion anyway.
Oh yeah, what was the extra perk that he got? Tuned in. Drug effect duration plus 50%. It's all about drugs now? Also, wait, what? Can they take drugs? Is my effect that I apply to myself with inhaler also spreads to them? How can they actually have an effect at all? What the hell is drug effect? Or just adrenotime effect? Hmm. Ooh, you could sort by locations. Yeah, but only by, like, actual planets. That's nice. Think I like, for now, from newest to oldest. We'll focus on helping this guy. God damn it. Then there was another thing. Fallbrook landing pad.
We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
There is. Even though we never unlocked it. I guess it's better this way. It feels like we're supposed to unlock it. I guess they just like changed it later to make it so as soon as you get to the location you just unlock it automatically. Alright, I think I'll end it here. We've reached the new planet Monarch. Still haven't leveled up, I believe. I don't know, I kind of like the base game a bit more, to be honest. It feels to have like more scale and a bit better dialogue. As much as the DLC had like a funny premise to it and like quirky atmosphere. Alright, anyhow,